You ever wonder what people say about you when you're not around? Well, that right there, that's your personal brand. And here's the thing, you have one whether you know it or not. So today, we're going to walk through a super simple playbook to help you take control of that story and, shape the impression you really want to make. Okay, let's be real for a second. The term personal branding can sound a little, I don't know, a bit corporate, right? Kind of stuffy. But let's just forget the buzzwords for a minute. All it really is the story people tell about you. And the coolest part? You get to be the author of that story. It's really just about being intentional with how you show up in the world, both online and, in real life. So how are we going to do this? Simple. We've got 4 steps. First, we'll figure out what a personal brand even is. Then we're going to do a little self-audit. Don't worry, it's painless. After that, we'll help you choose your megaphone to get your message out there. And finally, we'll make sure that message is super clear so it really hits home. Sound good? Let's dive in. All right, section 1. So what even is a personal brand? Let's get right into it and break this thing down. You can basically think of it like this. It's marketing, but for you. The main goal is super simple. It's to make yourself known and, well, attractive to the right people. It doesn't matter if you're trying to get a promotion, find new clients, or land that absolute dream job. Your personal brand is kind of like your secret weapon. And this is a big but, here is the #1 most important rule. This is not about faking it. It's not about pretending to be someone you aren't. Honestly, the strongest, most effective personal brands are built on being real. It's all about figuring out what makes you, well, you, and then just turning up the volume on that. It's still you, just with a bit of a plan. Okay, moving on to section 2, the self-audit. Now this might just be the most important step of all. Seriously, because before you can go out and tell your story to the world, you've got to know that story inside and out yourself, right? We have a super simple 4-part check-in to do this. First, we'll set some goals. Then, we'll figure out our strengths. We'll also have to face our weaknesses. It's okay, we all have them. And finally, we'll plan out the changes we want to make. It's all about getting a really clear picture of where you are right now and where you want to go. So, first things first, what are your goals? What's the big picture here? Let's get really specific. Are you trying to land that corner office? Or maybe finally learn that new skill? Or, hey, maybe it's saving up enough money to buy a place. Whatever it is, dream big, because there are absolutely no wrong answers. Your goals could be professional, like wanting to absolutely crush your presentations at work. Or they could be personal, like imagine finally taking that trip to Spain and ordering everything in perfect Spanish. Or, they could be financial, like buying your very first apartment. What this all shows is that a solid personal brand can really help you out in every part of your life. Okay, next up, strengths and weaknesses. This is where we get radically honest with ourselves. So what are your superpowers? And on the flip side, what's your kryptonite? Being real about both is a total game changer, I promise. It helps you figure out what you should be shouting from the rooftops and what might need a little work behind the scenes. And hey, don't be afraid to have a little fun with this, okay? Maybe you're an absolute genius when it comes to solving tough problems, but you also have 0 poker face during meetings. Or maybe your desk is perfectly organized, but you still can't remember your neighbor's name to save your life. It's all good, seriously. Just knowing this stuff is the first most important step. Okay, so you've got your goals. You've taken a good hard look at your strengths and weaknesses. Now for the big one. What changes are you going to make? What's one thing, just one, that you can start doing differently to get you closer to where you want to be? This is where all that thinking turns into a real plan. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. I'd like to sell my idea better and change people's perspective of me. See, this person connected the dots. They figured out that to reach their goal, they need to get better at communicating. That's taking that self-awareness and turning it into something you can actually do. All right, section 3. The internal work is done. Phew, you know your message. Now, how do we get it out into the world? It's time to choose your megaphone. Think about it. In the world we live in today, the tools you need to build your brand are, well, they're right there in your pocket. Your digital presence is a seriously powerful tool. Everything from your social media posts to your email signature, it's all part of a megaphone that's broadcasting your message 24/7, whether you're thinking about it or not. So let's look at your personal marketing toolbox. You've got things like social media, resumes, cover letters, even video cover letters, and good old-fashioned business cards. Each one is a different tool for a different job, right? Social media can show off your personality. A great resume screams, I'm a pro. And a video cover letter, wow, that can show your energy in a way that paper just can't. The real trick is just knowing which tool to use and when. Okay, we're on to our final section. Send a clear message. So you know who you are, you've picked out your megaphone, but now comes the really critical part. You gotta have a message that actually sticks. Because let's be honest, the loudest megaphone in the world doesn't matter if what you're saying is just a jumbled mess.
So here are the rules for a great message. It's got to be clear, it has to make sense, you want it to be memorable, and you want it to be valuable to the other person. And finally, you got to break through their skepticism with your values. Basically, keep it simple. Nobody is impressed by a bunch of jargon. Make it memorable. Like, what's the one thing you want them to remember? And make sure it's valuable to them. But the biggest one of all, it has to be real. When your message comes from your core values, that's how you build actual trust.
So, when you boil it all down, after all this thinking and planning, what's the crucial point? What's the one thing that really ties this all together and makes it work? It all comes down to this one simple question. How do you want to be seen? We've given you the playbook, we've walked through the steps, but now the ball is in your court. You have to answer that question for yourself. Because the second you decide how you want to be seen, that's the second you can start making it happen. So I'll leave you with that to think about. How do you want to be seen?